All right, so here we are on Belfast, and we can definitely tell this one's going to be a bit of a project, right? This one's cheap. So I'm a big fan of sweat equity. We bought a property to not flip it, but to renovate it over time. So I'm a big fan. I'm also good at things like that. So I will keep an eye out with that in mind. So here we are. They, tried to plant some sod and then forgot to water it. That's tale as old as time. Here, so first thing I notice is like this is a little bit rough. It doesn't feel soft, right? So it needs to be repainted, but it's not soft. So that is good. That is a good sign. This one, for sure we want a home inspection on the property like this. This one is a little bit more wet. So that's going to be a little bit more of a concern. So doesn't mean it's bad, just something to think of. There's a big crack in here. This one was definitely wet. That one was not. So things like that. Let's take a look at the deck. Looks all right. It's definitely not new. Some of these boards are a little bit lower. Okay, we've got a couple of soft boards here. This is an easy fix up here. We definitely have some unpainted brick, and we have some storm windows, I believe. Are these storm windows? Ooh, I don't know. We'll take a look from the inside. I'm not a huge window person, but so here it's not wet, it's not soggy. That's a good sign. This right here, we can kind of tell when a property's been neglected. This would need to be replaced. Water can get through into the threshold there if you leave that one soggy. So right, this one is a bit of a project, but aren't we all? So let's continue to walk around the exterior here. This could use a repaint, but otherwise doesn't look structurally compromised. We do see, some flaking paint up there. Let's see. That screen has obviously seen better days. So here, okay, it's not soggy. It's a good sign. Dirty is different than damaged, right? This one's definitely dirty. That doesn't mean it's not a good one. Here we go. So, right, we got some musical boards there. Shed looks all right. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of storage in here. A lot of tools currently. But this is solid. Stack pavers, that's a choice. Here we go. Here, let's see, we have like a little trash deck here. So that's nice for your trash. I'll just show you the lot. So it's pretty. There's a lot of woods back there. It looks like it might like totally drop off at some point. I am not going to go out there and see where that point is, but I am confident I can see a creek kind of down there, and it is way lower than we currently are. So if you had little kids, that would be a concern. But maybe not for them. They'd probably think that was cool, but maybe for you. So here, we've got bushes touching the house. We've got some obvious wood rot out here. That window is like totally falling out of the casing there. So, that's a must fix. That's an immediate fix problem. A lot of these other things are fix over time as you can. That's an immediate one. So this one just looks like the screen is damaged. It's ugly, right? But it's not as compromised as that one. And then, so there's no yard to speak of that I can see. This has obviously not been maintained. This kind of pathway here we've got, that's a little soft. So let's see, let me keep going. Now, again, I'm team fixer-upper, so, don't mistake my comments as criticism. If you want a project, that can be a really great way to get a little bit more house than you could otherwise afford and make it your own over time. I mean, we've done that a few times now. I am for it. Just want to be upfront about what kind of project. So paint, it looks fine over here. I don't see any obvious signs of foundation damage. These windows are old. That's windows. They don't last forever. We've got trees on the roof that would need to be trimmed, that branch for sure. You don't want trees on your roof. It invites little critters and little pests. So the roof itself actually doesn't look as bad as some of the other parts of the house. I don't think it's like the fancy 30 or 40-year roof. So the inspection kind of will help determine roof life, but it doesn't look bad actually. So again, we want to trim these back a little bit too. So all right, so there's the exterior. We'll head inside. All right, so I have come in the front door, and so paint, right? Every inch for sure. Primer first, maybe prime twice. Paint. So let's see. The walls look fine. I mean, honestly, all things considered. So this, is the original like parquet floor. As cool as it would be to save this, I don't know that you could. You might be able to if you replace kind of a few of them over here. This is a little bit, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to sometimes distinguish dirty and like didn't take care of it from other things. So there is some up here, that we would want an inspection on. The outlet, I mean, the outlet looks weird because like who tapes over an outlet, but otherwise, okay, so this would be the living area, I guess, and then hallway, and then you would come here, dining area, I would guess. So we've got some signs here of, something happened here. I don't know. Something happened there. Water, it's usually water. It's usually water that happened there. And then over here in the kitchen, we have this interesting thing here that used to hold a door. So it's actually nicer without the door. And then, well, there is power in the house. Okay. Sometimes with these, there's no power. So in here, let's see, kitchen original cabinets, I would guess. So they're actually kind of cool. And they go up to the ceiling there. So that's nice. That's, the thing. You need a new dishwasher and maybe a new stove. I'm not sure. Microwave looks like it might work. So the fridge, the fridge location is a little tricky here because it ends up, through this big pathway. So is it dirty? Did it get singed in an electrical fire? I don't know. It's a mystery. Cabinets. I mean, actually the cabinets are probably fine. So you could paint those. The laminate's in pretty good condition. You can cover over laminate really easily. Okay. So in here we have attic access, and then we have a lot of things going on and not a lot of light. So unless this is a three-way switch. Oh, it is. Okay. So we have installed, oh wow, it has basically a new water heater. So that's funny. Furnace here. Yeah, not sure exactly. It was serviced in 2001. So it could be that old, could be that it's been replaced. I don't know. It's hard to tell. There is a humidifier attached, so that's nice. And then, we have, this is like an old linoleum. So the fact that it's peeling up doesn't mean anything bad. It's not meant to last forever. And this linoleum has been asked a lot. So it's been here a long time. Cabinets, let's see. This is a really cool old school laminate. Cabinets down here. So, I mean, it's got a lot of cool, I feel like there's a lot of potential here. Washer, dryer, placement's an ideal with the door right between, but it's not a huge deal. It does maybe have internet, electrical panel, doesn't have a lot of room on it. You'd probably have to add another panel. There is some room up there and some extra circuits if you want. So, the things I worry about are kind of things like that, where did they just crack that to put the wires through? Is it cracked for a different reason? This is not a level ceiling in here, but that doesn't mean it's damaged. It just, so I have questions. I have questions here. Okay. So the good news is that the room that has the ruined, wait a second. How do you get over there? Okay. Hang on. I got to figure out how okay. Okay. All right. So we come through here. So the room that has the ruined windows was this room, I believe, right? Yeah. So, and this is like like a sunroom. So you could fix up the rest of the house before tackling this one. So that's one definite plus. I think maybe they were using it as a bedroom or just closets for storage. You know, so this you could level pretty easily and add a floor, no big deal. Yep, the windows would need to be replaced for sure. But windows, you know, if you can do it yourself, these are first floor windows. They're not that expensive from Home Depot. You can order them to the exact size you need. Big closet in here. There is a light. So then you can peekaboo through the kitchen. I guess I don't know that you'd use this as a bedroom, but you know, I don't know that those would be reliable for heating. Let's see. It's not wet. So that's good. So, okay. Let's see. All right, this is pink. So it's interesting. Let's keep going here. We have well, we have a light maybe. Oh, I don't know that we do have a light. We used to have a light. I think this is like plugged. This is that, and then for some reason that's not working right now. But there is a powder room, and it has these cute little curtains. So powder room here, pink toilet, pink sink. Oh god, thank goodness it's not a basement. I was like, oh, I have to go in the basement. um, Here is another bathroom. Oh, this one does have a light. Also pink. So super cute, right? If you're into pink bathrooms. Easy plumbing access. It's a plus. You need a new toilet. This one's been glued back together. I don't like, besides it being obviously gross, right? It's obviously gross. It's obviously been neglected. It does seem like maybe a pack of like wild animals lived here. But like things like that, like they look weird, but they're not always super bad. The water is dripping. It does have it's got some cool features. So here we have a bedroom. Um, let's see. Peeling paint, or they painted over wallpaper. It can be hard to know. This window looks like it's in better shape. So this window, obviously not super great shape. That's probably broken seal, old condensation in there. So you would need new windows for sure. So let's see. And then, there's a sound in the floor here as these kind of like try to unstick themselves. So linen closet. And over here we have this one. So this one does have an overhead light. Oh, with 1.5 light bulbs. I'm going to turn that off just so it doesn't rattle itself off the ceiling in case it would. And then nice big closet in here. So this one actually looks structurally fine, right? New windows, we've covered that. Structurally, it looks a lot better than some of the other ones. You would need to repaint every inch and new trim, new flooring. That's kind of a given. So in here, this one does not have an overhead. Oh, it has that light. Okay. And a closet. So maybe a bit of a project. So here it was the living room. And then, the sunroom kind of addition is kind of neat. Yeah, so this one needs a lot. If you could get it for the right price, though, it's in a nice neighborhood. It's in a nice area. It needs a lot.